A strong nation, like a strong person, can afford to be gentle, firm, thoughtful, and restrained. We become not a melting pot, but a beautiful mosaic. Different people, different beliefs, different yearnings, different hopes, different dreams. The best way to enhance freedom in other lands is to demonstrate here that our democratic system is worthy of emulation. Aggression unopposed becomes a contagious disease. To be true to ourselves, we must be true to others. A leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go, but ought to be. We must adjust to changing times and still hold to unchanging principles. Human rights is the soul of our foreign policy. You can't divorce religious belief and public service. I've never detected any conflict between them. War may sometimes be a necessary evil, but no matter how necessary, it is always an evil, never a good. Peace is a journey of 1,000 miles, and it must be taken one step at a time. Unless both sides win, no agreement can be permanent. We cannot be both the world's leading champion of peace and the world's leading supplier of weapons of war. There should be an honest attempt at the reconciliation of differences before resorting to combat. The bond of our common humanity is stronger than the divisiveness of our fears and prejudices. We will not learn how to live together in peace by killing each other's children. Human rights are not negotiable. They are the foundation of freedom. We can choose to alleviate suffering. We can choose to work together for peace. America did not invent human rights. In a very real sense, human rights invented America. When people are intimidated about having their own opinions, oppression is at hand. I have one life and one chance to make it count for something. The measure of a society is found in how they treat their weakest and most helpless citizens. Go out on a limb. That's where the fruit is. Faith is not just something you believe, it's something you live. We must live our lives as though Christ were coming this afternoon. It is good to realize that if love and peace can prevail on earth, all the dreams we ever dreamed can come true. My faith demands that I do whatever I can, wherever I am, whenever I can, for as long as I can, with whatever I have, to try to make a difference. Like music and art, love of nature is a common language that can transcend political or social boundaries. You only have to have two loves in your life for God and for the person in front of you at any particular time. We must nurture peace from within before we can share it with others. We should live our lives as though Christ were coming this afternoon. You can do what you have to do, and sometimes you can do it even better than you think you can. You can do what you have to do, and sometimes you can do it even better than you think you can. It's not necessary to fear the prospect of failure, but to be determined not to fail. Testing oneself is best when the stakes are high. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. The awareness that health is dependent on habits we control makes us the first generation in history that, to a large extent, determines its own destiny. Commitment is what transforms a promise into reality. Every act of government is an act of trust. A life of service is the most fulfilling life of all. There's no reason to be pessimistic about the future. Humanity is resilient and creative. You can't lead without listening. The experience of democracy is like the experience of life itself, always changing, infinite in its variety, sometimes turbulent and sometimes calm. The greatest problem with our democracy is apathy. When you reach a point where you don't want to do the same thing again and again, it's time to take a new path. Honesty, integrity, and truthfulness are the foundations of success. A nation without morality will soon lose its greatness. We must remind ourselves that we share a common destiny. There's always something we can do better. Our dreams are the seeds of change. We can choose to be architects of our future or victims of our past.